the arcane shift before anything is insane. Both junglers racing each other at the same time to get up to the top lane. Warleader is going to ulti over, is going to be able to take out Shielded Valor. That happened so quick, it was almost like a car accident. Oriri is going to go down next. Warleader, AG are on the side. RLS just bottom of it is going to try to start the fight. Shelly at half. The fight's going to begin. Warleader's going to go in. That's going to be the Iron Tower taken down to half and Oriri taken down to 0. They're in a cage though. Hook goes out. Escape gets hooked in. Iron Tower picks it up. Escape down. Warleader trying to avenge his friend. That's going to be Akshan popping the ulti to charge here in this mid lane. The mid tower will go down here, but Anti is already in the fray. Ready to make things happen. Emperor's Divide. The Gwen W is being pushed away, but Jarvan getting one shot by Ezreal, Yuumi, and everyone else. Akshan going to be able to grapple out of there. Escape. No escape out of there yet, but it doesn't matter because he has the damage. Akshan ult is going to take out the Blitzcrank.
They've got to fight for this dragon because if they give up Soul, I don't know. I don't know what they can do.
They do have the mid prio. RLS is split up a little bit. TG are all together. Hook gonna go wide. Gwen going in. Iron Tower's caught a little bit. The damage does not come out. Warleader has been cataclysmed off to the other side of the fight. Pengu Soul and Shielded Valor is going to go down. Pengu Soul getting Oriri as well. And off to the other side, Gwen taking so much damage. Revives are gonna come out.
Hello, folks. Talk about a banger of 2 games. Restless Lake Syndrome now up 2 games over Terracotta Gaming. It is absolutely an exciting matchup. This has just been absolutely insane. I am your friendly neighborhood Shotguns Shargun, and I've got joining me on the caster's desk, Trulax. Wow.
Yeah, definitely been a banger. 2 games here. What personally wasn't expecting, and I was expecting Terracotta to win that first one and then maybe get a Restless Lake Syndrome haymaker back, but it's been just haymakers thrown by Restless Lake Syndrome since the get.
Yeah, and at the risk of sounding as an RLS fanboy here, I just want to say to them, this is just one more challenge. They follow their hearts. That is what sets them apart and what will make them FOF masters. I am just wholeheartedly behind these guys. But Terracotta, I have a feeling, is about to start pulling out something kind of reckless just because of the fact that they're like, okay, everything's on the line now. We're down 2 games. We've got to come back from this, and we got to come back swinging, and we got to swing back hard.
Yeah, and as you see right here on the bans too, they already took away Warleader's Volibear. Like, that has been a staple pick for him throughout the season so far, and I'm actually happy they took that away from him because I feel like he's just been giga stomping with that the last 2 games.
Yeah, it's been a huge factor for these last 2 games, just playing around that top side, allowing to have the double stuns with Aurelia during the first game, and just the amount of tankiness he provides his team during the most recent game that they had, game 2. So we're seeing the Orianna picked up really quickly on the side of RLS, and then Udyr countered. I do know that RLS was worried about a Syndra Udyr bot lane, I think is what it was, or is it an Udyr combo, like basically in the bot lane? So that might be what we're about to see.
Yeah, you know, I personally I've never heard of that one, so I'd be excited to see that play out. I think we talked about on the lounge those crazy strats coming out, and you're just not able to respond to that. And they did allude to having some crazy strat to pull out of the pocket, so I'm wondering if this is what they got in the back pocket.
Mm-hmm. And exactly, that's the thing. And so, I like this, taking the Trundle away from Oriri as kind of a retaliation. It's like, fine, you're going to ban out our 2 top picks right there with the Aurelia and the Volibear. We're going to go ahead and take your Trundle away. So I'm kind of thinking that we're going to look for something a little bit more. I still think they're going to play weak side bot on the side of RLS, this is Escape and Demon Girl, because he's just been doing so well, being able to stay alive, surviving for like 30 minutes at a time. So I have a feeling that's what we're most likely going to end up seeing here.
Yeah, and you see they pick up their support. They have their jungler, they got their mid laner, and I think they're playing this draft as if Syndra is going mid with the Udyr jungle, because Udyr is still a strong, he's a niche pick, but he's still a strong jungler in my opinion. So I'm interested to see what they pick up here for their 3rd pick, and then see what they gets banned out.
Okay, so we've got that Lulu getting hovered right now. Lulu's got that great disengage and tanky support with the wild growth, so that's something that could basically be used as either an engage tool on someone like an Udyr or disengage if you jump on that back line. So really good all-around pick for Antunes. We're probably going to expect to see something like that. Honestly, I also kind of want to see Shielded Valor on a tank. The carry top laners just haven't really seemed like they've been working out for him lately.
Yeah, he's been a traditional player of the tank top side. I've gone against him myself. I think he's much stronger and has really helped his team out a lot more if they're able to just not really worry about him on that top side, especially against RLS, who's going to be very top side focused. Put him on a tank that he can just tank the damage, sit top, be on his island, and then they need to just get bot lane going. I think that's been their biggest problem. They're just not capitalizing on the bot side pressure over the top side from RLS going top side most of the game.
And very clearly, topside is the main focus of these next bans. We see the Shen taken away, so that's a lot of global pressure being taken away from Shielded Valor, and the Set and Gwen as well being taken away from Anti. Anti pulling the Gwen out last game into the Graves, I feel like it was one of those things where it's more of a skill matchup, and Anti just seemed like he was performing a little bit better than Shielded Valor that just allowed him to maintain that lane. And in the meantime, we see the Cog getting banned out, so they don't want to deal with the Cog Lulu. Very smart ban on the side of RLS.
Yes, I would agree. And there you go. Iron Tower getting his standard Vayne pick. He's a very big Vayne player. Is very comfortable in that champion. And then they're countering with the Jinx, which I do like a Leona Jinx lane. I think it's a solid lane, personally.
I agree completely. Jinx is probably my favorite ADC just because you've got a great range whenever you're actually able to have your rockets up, and then the fact that you can get excited just by taking towers and getting assists. It provides you so much mobility to either continue the fight or to disengage, that for like the extra peel that you're going to have with the Leona, the Trundle, and the Orianna, that it just makes Jinx almost uncatchable, and Escape is basically going to be doing his Houdini axe all over again.
Yeah, and you look, both bot sides, I like their picks because I think Lulu pairs very well with Vayne, gives her the speed boost, it really helps her move forward when she's trying to gap close. And there you see the Malphite pickup for Anti. Very interesting.
It's a little unusual for Anti to be taking Malphite, I think. I'm not entirely certain if we've seen it this season. I do like it because, again, you have that natural shield. You've got great AP ratios if you want to go for damage. And the disruption you provide with your ultimate, that unstoppable force, is so devastating getting onto that backline or even just disrupting whatever engage they have, that I really feel like the wild growth is going to kind of be a stopgap measure that's going to have to wait until the CC stop before it's actually able to do anything.
Yeah, and I'm interested on this Riven pick. I feel like maybe Riven and Malphite, I feel like you're losing that matchup into the Malphite personally. I don't know the matchup too well, but I feel like Malphite has a slightly advantage over that because he's just going to stack a bunch of armor.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of interesting. I'm not entirely certain off the top of my head how that matchup ends up going. I believe you're right in that it is Riven favored. It is going to be kind of interesting, though. I do, again, you've got the natural shield and the Malphite, might provide him some extra tankiness. Other than that, I think that it's just overall, I like what RLS is putting out, but I do like the response from Terracotta, and they're like, okay, fine, you want to continue to be aggressive, we're just going to match you, we're going to beat you.
Yeah, and here we go, 5 stack. Let's see if they can get a quick pick early. RLS feeling themselves.
They are, and right now we're going to see Oriri. He's going to notice that they're walking into his topside jungle. That means going to be a free ward available for the side of RLS, and Terracotta not responding with a ward on the Vayne Lulu side. Looks like they might be having Syndra drop it over by Raptor. That is another thing, is I think in game 1, the ward scores were drastically in the favor of RLS.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that on the lounge yesterday, that it's going to come down in these two very talented teams down to who's going to have better vision control, who's going to be able to spot out junglers and team movements across the map. And I think that really played well into RLS. They were able to get those deep wards and really have solid vision throughout the entirety of the game.
Yeah, and that solid vision is going to be what really ends up making or breaking it. I know that Oriri on the lounge said that he believes that it was going to be the team fights that does it, and he's absolutely correct. However, setting up for these team fights is so important. Look at the damage Pangusol's getting out on Nitsuni. That's already a 2-tick Syndra. Down to 1. Okay, I guess they're just going to keep on going with this. Pangusol getting him exceptionally low. I'm kind of surprised that they're continuing. It could be a first blood this early.
Yeah. Looking at Pangusol, just like, this is my lane. I've had you all game, and he's just like all these games. He's just not respecting Nietzen at all, and he needs to show. He's like, prove it to me that you deserve to be in this mid lane right now with me.
Yep. Look at this. Oh my goodness, Nietzen having to proc that the pot just to stay alive. it's a good thing he doesn't have to wait for it to charge up because he's got that inspiration rune, but still, he is just basically hovering around death right now.
Yes, but if you'll look, he is forcing him out of lane, but Pangusol is down 3 farm right now. So he's getting some good pressure off on him, but he's got to get that farm level back up.
Yeah, he's losing a little bit of CS for that, getting all that poke. He is in all that extra damage, so we'll have to see if it ends up working out in his favor. The long run? Who knows?
Yeah, you know, I think it might pan out for him because, I mean, he's got him down and he's going to have to respect this Orianna and he's really going to have to play as safe as he can. Like, he can't even walk up.
Yeah, look at that. Jeez Louise, that is a exceptionally low Syndra. Gonna have to take the early back, probably gonna burn the TP just in order to get back to lane, so that's gonna be a huge advantage for Pangusol. It's gonna allow them to catch back up in CS. Nice engage here on the top side as well. This is not a pool noodle fight at all. And I'm pretty sure it's a plus 54% for Riven. Oh my goodness, the damage that Pangusol took just by trying to stick around. Nitsuni did use the TP, and that's going to be a flash burned and a TP most likely burned from Orianna in order to come back.
Yeah, and you look at the top side matchup up there. You have Anti took grasp on this Malphite, so we can pretty much assume he's going to go pretty much all tank. I think it would have been a better idea for poke damage to take that comment.
Oh, yeah, most likely in order to get that extra damage off, be able to fight the Riven on their front. Nitsuni is once again trying to fight this in the mid lane. Anti is getting really, really low. His Shield of Valor is jumping around on top of him. In the meantime, we have a bit of an engage on that Udyr down in the bot side river. He was looking for a regank on Pangusol, but War Leader was already there to counter it, so they weren't able to get that to work. Good play by RLS.
Yeah, we have good pressure here in the mid lane, allowing them to get really... And they had bot side pressure. They were able to get that bot side scuttle, which is really key, I think, in crucial early game for that bot side.
Absolutely. Vision is the name of this game. Like, we talk about towers and other objectives, Dragon being important. Nice engage by Demon Girl getting the Zenith Blade right onto Antunes. Antunes having to flash away in order to avoid taking too much damage. And then up in the top side, we have a fight going on as well. Like, this is just a bunch of engages back and forth.
This is just... Map. Yeah, this is just punching back and forth. All lanes showing their strength right now. Low. Yeah, at both lanes, just like, we're just going to keep punching you. Let's just keep going. How many rounds can we go before one of us dies?
Yeah, and look at this. We might actually be seeing a death right here as Anti's getting taken down almost to just one auto attack away. Shielded Valor's not quite able to finish him off, though. Antine barely getting away with his life. He's probably going to finally take that back. Most likely burn the TP to get back to lane. It is a good thing for him that Riven decided to match his TP instead of taking Ignite. Yeah,
I feel like Shielded Valor could have really forced the issue on that fight there and maybe got Anti's flash out of him.
Ooh, we might be seeing it right here as we get a flash coming out for Nitsuni. Pegasol's going to get taken down. That's going to be first blood over to Syndra.
And there we go. Nitsuni gets that farm lead and then gets the kill. So all that early pressure is for naught right now.
It is. That has been totally negated all of the work that Pangusol was doing. They got him to burn the flash way earlier than necessary, which allowed Syndra to have that advantage during that fight just now. And great job by Oriri in order to force the issue.
Yeah, and as we see right now, we got really good pressure from Antunes and Iron Tower right now, but I think they need to start considering that top side ward, because we got a Trundle right above them on bot side.
It's going to be kind of one of the... There we go. We get that ward dropped over in the river, so Trundle is going to have a little bit of an issue trying to sneak in. It looks like he might be trying to go mid lane, though, or just wait for this bot side scuttle. And then once they... Yeah.
Oh, he started the dragon.
Ooh, dragon sneak. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so we got a nice dragon sneak starting right here. War Leader is able to do it, unlike a lot of other junglers. Similar to Warwick, he does have the lifesteal to be able to do that with his chomp. We do see that Syndra has rotated around getting a ward off, and we do have Udyr coming to check it out. Leona, though, nearby, so they could be trying to stop it. Oh, nice sneak, though.
Yeah, I respect it. I love the early dragon take. I think that's a great pull for them. They lose a kill in mid lane, but they get themselves the dragon early.
And that's what you got to do. It's like, if you're going to lose a certain amount of, there we go, nice bit of damage coming out from onto Shield of Valor from Anti. He does have that passive shield. Again, it keeps you safe for a little bit of those extra engages from the Riven, but you got to make sure you start using that across the map, because that's going to be where Malphite really starts to shine.
Exactly. And then, I think based on these teams right now, I'm interested to see the anti with the mid with Pangu Soul Ball. I mean, like both ults at the same time. I think we're gonna get a couple does. I'm really getting excited for the team fight spiciness that's gonna come out in this game.
Yeah, that's going to be where it really, really starts getting kind of nuts. Anti just trying to get some extra CS here, but he keeps getting stunned every time he does. But Shield of Valor's taking quite a good amount of damage. I do like the early Bramble Vest pickup.
Yeah, I do also. And he's doing really well keeping his farm up in a lane matchup that's going to be very difficult for him against the Riven. He's just basically being a rock, and he's like, I'm just gonna walk up here and get this real quick. So he's doing really well keeping himself even in farm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and while we are seeing a reduction in damage because of that, he picking up that Bramble Vest so early, it is going to basically allow him to survive in lane. It's kind of like when you go up against a Fiora. Yeah, you kind of want to go for the Bramble Vest straight away because you won't be able to out-damage her, but you prevent her from being able to just straight up kill you.
Yeah, and it allows you to farm safely as best you can. Having that extra armor and having that extra safety,
Ooh,
you're able to just
nice stun onto Pangu Soul. Nitsuni doing some great work with this Syndra, although Pingo is like, you know what? Fine, keep hitting me. I'm gonna keep hitting you back.
Again, it's just left, right, punch, left, punch, right. That's what's going on in that mid lane right there, and it's what's been going on pretty consistently throughout every single lane so far this game, which is what we expected.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, we got Oriri hanging out by the tri-brush. He was starting a back. Is looking like he might be doing a lane gank here.
Yeah, it's looking likely. Shield of Valor needs to really look a little bit more tasty on that one and get Anti to commit a little bit more to that farm.
Yeah, I get the feeling that Anti's suspecting something's up, and there you go. It's like as soon as he sees Udyr, he's like, okay, yeah, I'm backing off. I knew there was something going on here.
Yeah, he was like, all right, Shield of Valor playing a little bit more passive than he was playing earlier. It's got to be something going on. Highly sus.
Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, War Leader has decided to come join this party. He's coming up right up that top lane, although we do see that he is spotted out and is just going to walk away. That will leave this topside scuttle free for RLS to take, and they could press the issue and try and go for this Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, I might go from Scuttle Crab, go straight for the Rift Herald. Like, he's up there, you've got the prio, they just backed, and you saw that. I feel like he should force the issue and go for that, Rift Herald, which looks like that's what he's doing right now.
I believe that Oriana's over by... Oriana decided to back as well, so that does mean that Syndra walking away. They are aware that she's missing, doing a little bit of scouting around this bot side jungle. However, I feel like Terracotta just assumed they wouldn't go for Rift.
Yeah, and then Oriri's taking that bot lane pressure right now.
We got this fight going on right here. Sorry to cut you off, True Lax. That is good stun by Demon Girl in order to get this sustain right there, or peel off, and that is a flash kind of suspect solar flare coming out.
That sounds like it was a fat finger flash ult.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they meant to just ulti rather than flash as well.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like there was an accidental fat finger. You know what? That's what happens sometimes. Sometimes you're like, well, that was a thing, and we'll just not discuss it.
Yep. So just move on. 5 minutes from now, we'll have that flashback.
Exactly. Look at your team. Exactly. Look at your teammates and go, you saw nothing.
Mm-hmm. And also, there's actually an interesting interaction with the Hex Flash Zenith Blade, is you can cast the Zenith Blade as you're charging up Hex Flash. When you release it, you can actually launch the Zenith Blade out. So it does extend the range a little bit. I don't know exactly what Antunes was planning right there as they get caught by a Daybreaker shield right to the face, but we got the TP coming out, so it may have just been a bait. That is Escape getting shot up a couple of times by Vayne. Vayne getting a nice kill. We got 2 TPs coming out as well from the side of RLS. They just committed a whole team to this. That is 5x5 in the bot lane. Shockwave coming out, almost pulling a member of TG under the tower, but that is not going to matter. And unfortunately, the Unleashed Power is going to take down Anti, and that is going to be a 2-for-1 on the side of Terracotta, but the fight's still going there now. Under this tower, War Leader has come to join the party. He's going to get smacked in the face with a ball. Pingu Soul's having to barely walk away with their life. They're just 2 ticks away from death. Syndra could easily chunk them, and that is the disengage coming out from Terracotta as they're going to go get this Wind Drake, which means we're probably going to see an Infernal coming up after that.
Yeah, that's possible. That was a great fight by TG right there. They baited in the engage from the bot side, and you saw immediately TP'd after the engage happened.
Yeah, immediate TPs just coming out across the map. So honestly, I think that with all of the resources spent, Terracotta is very happy with how that played out. Unfortunately, they were not able to rotate to the dragon quick enough in order to take it. I don't know if that was just a miscall or if they just decided it wasn't what they wanted to do.
Yeah, I feel like that as soon as they got those kills, instead of trying to force another kill down bot side, they really should have immediately gone for that dragon, because now they're going to give this dragon pit prio over to RLS.
Right. So it could be, though. It is the first 2 drakes, which are a ocean drake and a wind drake, which means that if Terracotta prioritizes the next set of drakes, this soul that they're going to be getting, the infernal soul, will be just so disgusting that it will be like dealing so much damage that overall for their comp, great. Honestly, great investment.
Yeah, that would be a great investment for them, I think. I'm always of the mind of take as many objectives as you possibly can. So I think they need to make sure that they prio those drakes from the rest of the game, and hopefully maybe get themselves a Rift Herald coming up, because I think it's very underrated.
It is a little bit underrated. I agree. It's that movement speed that you get and all that is just, it's really, really nice. It's just a good bit of extra bonus. I do like how much damage has been put out onto this bot tower, though, with that Rift Herald drop. It's down to 1 plate left, which means they're about to let Escape start roaming this map.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. RLS playing differently from their top side. They're just letting Anti on that tank up top.
They're just like, you know what? It's fine. Anti, you do your thing up top. It's okay if you get taken down once or twice. Just keep Shielded Valor occupied. We got a nice engage here on the bot lane. The Subjugate's going to come out. That's no resistance is available for the Orianna, and they're just going to get eaten alive.
Yeah, great engage there. They just jumped through from Raptor Pit, just flash over, make sure you secure it with the Subjugate E, and he's just like walking away. Hungry Troll, it's been fed.
And that is why you gotta be afraid of the Troll King, because he is just gonna eat. Like, it's really, really scary whenever you're trapped under a tower like that. The RLS's coordination has been really on point today. They came with their A game. And it looks like, unfortunately, the Terracotta is crumbling to pieces as we're watching.
Yeah, and you see here, it's kind of a change in playstyle. TG normally playing through their bot side, and you see RLS normally playing through their top side, and we're seeing a swap of that too.
A little bit. It's kind of like, I know that we asked Oriri on the lounge if he was going to keep sticking. Oh, look at this. We got a nice engage onto Anti. Anti was quite aware that there were 2 of them in there using to escape away. That is perfectly fine for them, though. In the meantime, we got a fight going on bot lane. Iron Tower getting brought very low. That's a nice bit of CC out from Demon Girl. RLS's escape just basically popping shots off left and right. So that was the tower taken out as well.
It is so hard to deal with Jinx when she gets excited, and she got excited.
That was exactly what I was alluding to earlier. They took the tower, which just gave them all of the extra bonuses they needed to force that fight, and worked out beautifully.
That is why Jinx is one of my favorite ADCs down the bot lane.
Agreed. Now, Truelex, where exactly do you think Terracotta has got to go in order to really start bringing themselves back into this game?
Well, they've really invested a lot of their resources to that top side, so I think they really got to crack that top side open to get their top lane, get Shielded Valor roaming around the map, start using that Riven engage, and get a little bit of aggro going on. Build some damage, get aggro.
Build some damage, get aggro, get across the map. Almost able to pick up that Syndra. Needs having to flash away in order to avoid that. That's going to be another timer down. I feel like that was a good engage for RLS, and that's a huge threat on this mid turret.
Yeah, and you see exactly what we were talking about, discussing what happened for the top side, happened for RLS from the bot side. They get that bot side pressure done, they crack that turret down, and then they immediately transition their bot side over to the mid lane to get this mid lane pressure going.
Yep, and with that, I really feel like, so RLS is most likely going to be looking around this Drake. We got a minute 30 for it to come up. All of these champs are really coming online. Everyone's doing really great on their CSing. Jinx has got themselves that Kraken Slayer. They're already working on that Mortal Reminder. Or not Mortal Reminder, sorry, Lord Dominic's. And that's going to allow them to just basically shred through all of the health bars on the side of Terracotta. And it's going to get really, really hard for them to deal with her from a distance.
Yeah, and you look at the warding scores currently right now. You have Trundle versus the Udyr. He's got a 15 ward score advantage, and then same with the bot side. Demon Girl has got a 6 ward score advantage right now. They're just controlling the vision, as we discussed, was going to be huge in this game, and they're really showing up with that vision game.
Honestly, vision game is such an underrated and very difficult thing to actually be able to master. So to see RLS doing such a great job playing from behind in a lot of these lanes and able to really kind of keep up with things, it's one of the reasons why they've kind of climbed themselves to this point. I do think that this next fight that we're about to see happen here is going to be really interesting. Look at this. We got Oriri coming in on the side. We got Antunes prepping off, and Wild Growth being used way early because of the fact they have to keep themselves alive. We got a nice bit of damage coming out. The Solar Flare is going to find 2 members of Terracotta, and that's going to be the Unstoppable Force, causing a huge amount of CC and a large knockup, and that is going to be a double kill going over to Anti as he starts to become an absolute mountain of a monster. And then we've got Pingu Soul coming in from the flank. Right here, we see Shielded Valor is going to get the ball dropped right on them. The ulti is still available, but they don't have a delivery system at the moment. So they are going to have to just kind of let this back off. They're going to allow the Siege to start pressuring into this mid lane turret, but they've already gotten what they needed to, only losing 1 member for 2 on Terracotta.
Yeah, and it looks like Anti was just letting them know, hey, have you forgotten about me? I know I was on that island, but I'm off it now.
Right, and see, they've already started up the Drake on the side of Terracotta. You've got the 2 members who died coming down in this direction. Unfortunately, Anti is ready and willing to go in, but he does not have the ultimate to engage. The only thing they've got is the Shockwave, so it's going to be really interesting to see exactly how they play it. My guess is they should just let it fall, but Shielded Valor is going to force the answer. He dives right in on this. Red team's going to take the Drake down, and that's going to Anti really low. War Leader dives on the back, though, getting Shielded Valor, trying to drop on top of him. The Solar Flare is going to come out onto Oriri, trying to stop the CC, but it's not quick enough, and that is going to be Terracotta coming in, bashing into the face of RLS, trying to get some revenge kills. But look at this. Jinx gets a nice pick off from a distance, getting excited. That's 1. That's 2. This could be 3. That is the triple kill. They're going for the quadra kill. There's not going to be able to pick up the penta, unfortunately. Not able to find Oriri. Oriri is going to be able to slip out of their grasp. And once again, RLS have taken victory from the jaws of defeat.
Yeah, and here we go. That Jinx getting excited, getting all those kills, get that attack speed, get that movement speed, being able to catch up to the Syndra, who looked like she might get out of there, but just it wasn't the case. And here we go, get that mid lane prio, crack this mid lane open, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them go topside, start cracking that topside open as well to really open this map up.
That was a huge fight. That was a, I believe it was a 1 for 4. Or 2 for 4 and a Drake and a mid lane tower. So like that is very good for RLS. Ooh, Nitsuni, what are you doing? You got yourself kind of way out of position. You're just gonna get bashed over the head with a control club right there. In the meantime, the fight's gonna continue in the mid lane. That's gonna be another kill going over to Escape as they take him down. Pingu Soul, sorry, is the one who's gonna take that out of Escape's grasp. Rift Herald's gonna get dropped in the mid lane. This is gonna be a huge push.
Yeah, it looks like they could push at least Inhib Tower for sure. Get 2 charges out of that Rift Herald. Maybe even get Inhib, translate that over to a Baron.
Yeah, I think that they just caught Terracotta. Like, I don't know if it was an underestimation on Terracotta's part or if RLS just came in, brought their A game and is like, look, got to go up against Giovanni. We got to bring everything we got to take down this gym leader, and they want that last gym badge.
Yeah, they want that gym badge bad. They want to add that to the collection. I mean, I'm not surprised. RLS has been a solid team throughout this entire season. They've showed us this ability to play this well, and they've dropped a couple, but this has just been solid play all 3 games. S tier.
It really has been. This has been a great... Look at that! We got the ball shockwave as Zenith Blade Root coming out, and that means Nitsu's not going to be able to get away, even though they knocked Leona away from the stun.
This is going to be the Baron right here. Why are you
absolutely
face checking? We know they're there.
Oh my goodness, I really don't know what they're doing, Trulax. Terracotta, unfortunately, is basically giving this Baron over for free.
Yeah, you know, they took that mid inhib. We know they're going to translate to that top side. I don't know why you'd be face checking. They had no wards over there. That's definitely, that's a question mark there.
Just a little bit. It's not over yet, despite the fact that there is a 7k gold lead. If they're able to get this Vayne Lulu combo online, just let Vayne keep scaling up, keep working on building their damage. They are a little bit behind, but they're working on that Ginsu's, which will allow the Silver Boats to proc that much faster, and that is really where her damage lies. So there is still a potential to be able to get through the huge tanks that are on the side of RLS in the Malphite and the Trundle.
Yeah, and going down to that Leona as well, but you know, you look at this Jinx who's got the farm lead, has a kill lead, has a Runans, and has the Lord Dominix with the Kraken. It's just gonna be real hard for them to get back in this game with that one, but I still think they can do it. It's if Solo 2's taught me anything, you can come back in any situation.
You really can. It's all about just making sure they get a misposition, misplay. Terracotta has got to start roaming as a group, though. You see this Riven kind of pushing off to the side, almost getting caught out once again by Anti. That's going to be a nice push for RLS on this bot side as they take down this turret. There's very little, I think, that Terracotta can do to stop a siege with their team comp, though.
Exactly, yeah, especially with Jinx having that much attack speed, and they got this Baron buff, that Baron buffed cannon minion, just gonna do massive damage on this turret. Like, it's already a fourth of it gone.
Yeah, exactly, and they're able to just basically clear this wave out like it's nothing, even with that nasty stun, getting 4 members of RLS stuck in place for a few seconds. It's not enough to really do anything. Unstoppable Force is coming right onto Iron Tower. Iron Tower just gets absolutely deleted immediately, crumbling under the force of that mountain. Neatsney trying to do something to stop this turret from going down. Unfortunately, they're not able to do it. Anti has to back away to avoid taking tower aggro, but that's okay. He's fine with that. He's going to go ahead and get that inhib. That's going to be starting the back. Unfortunately, that could be game because we see TP coming out as Malphite has already healed themselves back up. That's going to be another kill going over to Escape as Escape goes godlike. That Shield of Valor trying to do something to stop, but is not quite able to do it. We get a double kill over for Jinx, and that is going to be the semifinals over. RLS take it 3-0.
Yeah, man, what a game. They just put the exclamation point on this whole playoff series so far, this whole quarterfinals. They would just came in, haymakered them. They're like, we're not sending this to game 4. We're not even thinking about silver scrapes. We want to go home. We're done. We're going to the semis.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I kind of wish I'd had an opportunity to cast those first 2 games because that's kind of what I was expecting to happen in this one. I'm a little shell-shocked, I'm not going to lie, at the speed at which this game went.
Yeah, I would agree. I did not expect it to go, especially after the first 2 taking a long, like a good amount of time, those 40-minute timers for those games, and then we get this just banger of a game in 23 minutes, just steamroll. They just really wanted to put the exclamation point on their season, and they're going to go into the semis just rolling.
They are going to go in rolling super hard. They're going to be coming in high off of this now that they have just, oh my goodness, it's all a matter of what happens next. So going into the finals, RLS are just, I'm at a loss for words. This is just absolutely exciting, and I'm still kind of shell-shocked.
Yeah, they played completely different from their normal self from when we've watched them throughout the season, whereas they go through Anti and War Leader through the top side, Pengu Soul, like just kind of focus top side map and kind of just leave Escape and Demon Girl like, hey, we'll see you at the team fights in the mid game. But, you know, they played really strong through that bot side. The Leona was doing work, the vision control, just objective control. Like, even when you thought they had a misstep, they came around, were like, no, that was just a 200 IQ play so we could get Dragon Prio. Like, it was just just absolutely just great play out of RLS.
Absolutely fantastic. And with that, we're going to be taking a quick break. We'll be right back with our winners, RLS. Stick around. We'll have an interview with them. And that's going to be it, guys. Be right back.
Hello everyone, Chris Edgeworth here, back on the interview desk, and I am joined today by Escape and Pengusol from our victorious Restless Leg Syndrome. How are you both feeling after this big win?
I'm feeling completely ecstatic.
Yeah, no, completely over the moon. I can't say, like, the competitive environment was phenomenal. TG was really fun to talk with and to prep with. They never really felt like it almost felt like a game with 10 buds just playing together. Really, really awesome. But obviously, being able to go forward towards the finals of Helios feels just amazing.
Let's talk about let's set the table here for how the series progressed, and let's start especially with the prep. So you folks advance into this matchup from our quarterfinals, and you're matched up against the erstwhile first seed, but not anymore. They were lacking their mid laner, now switching Nietsny into the mid lane. What was the preparation like for this series for you both, and especially for you, Pengusol, having to come in against a new mid laner?
Yeah, with the absence of Tien, it's made me think a little bit differently about mid lane, considering that I'm going from this like some player that I already know like the ropes around, to someone completely new,
like kind of unseen.
Yeah, very unseen to me. So having to work around a player that has a very similar champion pool to me, I would say, it's very different from what I'm used to. So going into this, I was a little bit more on the shaky end, considering that I didn't know what to expect out of this new mid laner.
What about
you?
Okay,
I mean, from my it's okay. From my lane perspective, obviously I'm looking at Iron Tower and I'm looking at Antunes, Mr. Jeff, the dad name. I think that we come in prepared for that lane. We've played into it a little bit before. Honestly, a lot of our preparations kind of signified us towards like what Iron Tower even said himself in the interview that he had, or not the interview, sorry, the lounge that he had yesterday, where he was saying like I played a lot of Caitlyn. Surprised that people haven't put priority on it, and obviously we have to respect that Iron Tower's relatively solid player, like all around. It's hard to really say like he's got a defined weak point, but very much just kind of a solid ADC player. So we were looking at Caitlyn. Obviously we're looking at the Jhin and the Draven, which is what she's picked up recently. And the Vayne was kind of out of nowhere for us, and it was really nice for us to be able to say, you know, like, okay, we'll equalize in these first 2 games, you know, just picking the Ezreal because that's what's going to work for the team, and having the opportunity to kind of like start my stuff in that lane was really, really nice because you know, Iron Tower seems to have this perception that he's the stronger laner, and I don't agree.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this draft. Let's walk ourselves through this game, through this series rather, game at a time. And I loved seeing Anti getting to stretch the legs on the Irelia and the top side, pulling out the flex with War Leader on the Volibear this time instead.
Nasty.
Yeah. You folks, you had the Orianna and the Ezreal respectively. They had 3 ADCs, so Porque no lost trace for them. So how was your this was also the long game. This was the one that went all the way out to 50 minutes.
Game.
So Escape, let's start with you. Can you give me your thoughts on how this game progressed, what your thoughts were on the comp they had put together, and sort of how this game ended up turning out to be 50 minutes? We'll go Escape and then Pengusol if you give me your thoughts after.
What looking at this from the player perspective is that just raw numbers wise, they're going to outscale us. They have Vayne, they have Corki, Graves. Those are all 3 champions that do incredibly well the later the game goes. The thing is that executionally, we have the counter matchups. Obviously not Ezreal so much, but being able to play Orianna to shut down any sort of group team fighting, especially around Graves and Corki, and then being able to say Irelia can jump to the backline and deal with Vayne. So this was a game where we had to focus on the execution of our team fights, which is somewhere we've been criticized, and rightfully so. And it's something that we've done a lot of work on, and I think that kind of showed. Obviously that game started off really poorly. There was a kind of a bad TP play that we made in the bot lane, gave over a double kill to Vayne, and then from there it was just what we've worked on is just slowing the game down, which boy did it go slowly, and we were able to just play nice and slow and get ourselves back into a position where we felt comfortable, and most importantly just kind of remove dying from the table. We tried not to give over too many kills, and find our way back in, and then eventually we found that very good fight that led to an Elder, and then hard to do much from there.
Pengusol, you have any thoughts on the first game?
Yeah. So obviously, like Escape said, we had like a very rough early game. And I think what really allowed us to take take control of that game was that we went from like having really strong team fights in the mid game, and then it was like really shaky going later into the game, but we started to slow the game down, and instead of like looking for big engagements, because we already understand that they're starting to beat us, we started to look for picks on some stragglers like Thresh and Trundle. Whenever they were caught out, that's 2 really good peel sources for, you know, the 3D ADCs. So by taking those 2 out, we already have the numbers advantage. We can force objectives really easily. So that's like, with that we took so many objectives like the Baron and Elder at the end, and really spun the game on its head.
And just to real quick, it's really hard to ignore that, what was it, about 18-minute 4-man shockwave that we got out of Pengusol that really brought us back into the game. That was kind of our breath of fresh air, because we were behind into a better scaling comp into that point, and that wasn't the turning point, but that was our chance to make it back, and this guy just took it perfectly.
It gave us 4.6k gold back.
Yeah, ridiculous change.
Ooh, it's one of those 4K elo shockwaves right there.
Yeah.
Let's move forward to the last 2 games of the set. You know, honestly, these 2 were very decisive from RLS. Of course, something to commend you for, the entire team. But the second game, I felt like there's more meat on this bone here, especially Pengusol. You were able to pop off on the Akshan, the nice cat stapled to you, just hopping around, slinging around, I guess. How did you feel in game 2 with how dominating you were in this game?
So I felt really weak in the early game, because Azir is just able to force so much off of me. Because he puts so much pressure on mid lane by himself against Akshan, I think. But towards the later end of the game, when like the rest of my team is scaling and I'm starting to get myself in a good position, I feel like I was able to, you know, be the Spider-Man for the team and save the day, especially with that last play, where I was able to get the Quadra and teleport top lane for the end of the game.
Yeah, no, really good flank. I think that this game was us finally getting to actually execute with the Yuumi. Obviously, last time we had the connection issues, we weren't able to do everything that we wanted to do. Not to say that we couldn't have done better with that game 4, I want to say, versus CFG, but I think that now we actually got to do what we wanted to do with it and utilize it as a pick. And I think that wasn't really respected from TG, kind of how overpowered Yuumi is and just making a composition permascale. You can pick Azir, you can pick Vayne, you can pick Graves, whatever you want to do. Yuumi on top of a carry will almost always equalize, if not do better. And the fact that we have Gwen for security was really good. But instead what we had was Mr. Spider-Man coming in and kind of putting all the bad guys in jail. And that was huge for us. And then, yeah, obviously that win was monumental for us because it's really hard to lose 2 games and come back. It's also really easy to win 2 games and get complacent. But we took every game seriously from that point forward. And I think that was really crucial. You could see the play difference from TG in game 3, and you could see the confidence that we had.
Let's look a little bit forward now that you folks have secured your berth into the finals. What are you both feeling? What does this mean for RLS? Now joining us for the 2nd season to be making it all the way into the finals. Let me start with you, Escape, and then Pengus will give me your thoughts.
It's, you know, obviously we've come down to the lower league. We're much better competition here. We set our goal for this season to just make sure that we make it to playoffs and then do our best that we can with playoffs, trying to make it to this point that we're making it to. Obviously, there's the super finals. We said finals. We want to be there to be the top 2 teams in our league. And being able to do that against Rex is awesome because we've had a not the closest connection, but we had a connection with Rex over the season. They're a really good group of guys. We've been able to scrim with them. And they're just really fun to be with. And so the fact that we're getting to play a set on stream against them, I'm personally really excited about. I think it's monumental for us to look at how far we've come as a team, and it's monumental for FOF because we're going to be having the first woman making it into the finals of anything in FOF history.
Mm-hmm.
Pengusoul?
Yeah. I think that today was a good showing of that we have come a long way, especially because you know, we had a 0-2 track record against TG, and now that we can say we have taken our gym badge from TG, and we're headed on to the Elite Four and the Champion with the Grand Finals next week. I'd say that this is like a huge win for us, like just as a way of saying that we really deserve to be here, just from the amount of hard work we put into this.
Yes, it is extremely exciting that you folks are able to make such an improvement this season, rocket up the ranks here, not just make it into playoffs, but make it all the way to the end. So it's really congratulations to everyone at Restless Leg Syndrome, the Ruby League server.
There we go.
I'm just gonna say, who wants it? Let me on the count of 3. 1.
Can we do it as a group?
Oh,
I'm ready.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Another
dub for the Ruby League server. All right, folks.
And I have been requested real quick by Oriri to just make a quick mention of the better payment plan wins.
Oh, there you go. All right, well, folks, Escape, Pengusoul, thank you so much for this interview. Before we step away, I do want to offer an opportunity. Any final thoughts before we step away?
Big shoutouts to TG for creating a show for us today. That was really fun.
Yeah, being a really sportsmanlike team, making some really fun games.
Yeah.
I want to say, thanks to all the besties that have showed up to watch us. We know that we've seen a couple of you guys. Thanks for being in there. It means a lot to us. And yeah, no, we're ready to push on. I know that I've said that it's Rex and it could technically be Rex or INT, but I'm completely confident.
All right. right, well, we'll be looking forward to seeing how that shakes out tomorrow. Folks, that is it for us tonight. After this nice, quick 3-0 from RLS, we'll be looking forward to seeing them next week in the finals. But until tomorrow, 4:30 Pacific Standard Time, we'll see you then. Have a good night.
Fuck. Fuck.